Long ago, somewhere deep within my childhood, I'd always had something interesting to tell you. When I was a kid, I grew up with a toy line called Hot Wheels. What I noticed, ever since I was a young child, what really enthusiastes me the most is, can you imagine if we all had a multiverse quest? Can you imagine what the whole world would be like if you create your own real-life multiverse quest? If you were on a journey to the center of the multiverse within these dimensions, I'm guessing that long way. Actually, there's something very, very long I could think of. I've been making a video for a while since last week. And I know, I loved cars, and if I had something to believe, I noticed if you mix cars and Nitrox 2 together, you'd make something more unique. I've heard something very interesting about what I can imagine. What can I discover? What the true meaning of exploring a multiverse would be like? I noticed there's one thing. Ah, come on! Stupid ad. Now, where was I? As I noticed I haven't been making a review for a while, I'm trying to do something that I haven't been doing there before. I felt like now's probably the right time for me to make a review. Because I know I finally understood what I could do. What can I imagine if I believed in myself and discovered is there a leap of faith? Have I discovered something unexpected is about to happen? There's one thing I can think of. Actually, I'd be thinking of doing this. So, I'm strapping you all to review something interesting. Long before we had Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, there was this cartoon movie called Hot Wheels World Race. Because I noticed this is basically the main inspiration behind Spider-Verse. As I noticed this very interesting concept, this movie came out around the time that it was originally on Cartoon Network from July 12, 2003 to August 2nd, 2003. Although it was made up of 5 episodes, which consist of Ring of Fire, The Greatest Challenge, Desert Heat, Frozen Fire, and Wheel of Power, we need to discover what would this movie be like. Now, the plot is very simple. It all started as 16-year-old teenager Vert Wheeler somehow discovers that he should be thinking of others rather than just thinking about himself, because he enjoys being some sort of a fun-loving dude kind of guy. For a guy like Vert knew that he should think about getting friends to take care of him. But what I noticed that when he stumbled upon the Dior that he was dreaming of since his mother died, ever since Jack Wheeler dedicated his whole life into driving than before, whenever he wants to go fast, like Peter Maverick Mitchell from Top Gun, if he wants to be like some sort of a love child between Peter Mitchell and Dominic Toretto, you'd mix these two and make Vert Wheeler. As I knew that this is going to be interesting. A scientist by the name of Dr. Peter Tesla has somehow created this car to prove it can go up to 300 miles per hour. It doesn't need a flux capacitor to do so. So, as a result of this idea, he guides that vehicle to the desert, where he saw a giant 3D cube-like basement, where Vert enters the basement with the help of his new friends that he met. First of all, he met Kurt Wilde, Taro Kitano, and most notably Larry Tam, and notably it was Skeet, Brian Kadim, Badji Castillo, Hassis, Juvo Rekas. Even though they were all first met each other for the first time, the real reason, even though Vert brought himself to the tournament, he said that Peter said that the Accelerons have always loved racing, and they wanted Vert to be the chosen one to prove he could win like a total of $5 million. Well, the plot, it's kind of interesting what you can imagine. As they rev up in their as everyone else has their own vehicles, they head to 300 miles per hour to explore a multiverse like no other. Along with the help of Kurt's brother, Mark Wilde. Even though what they did realize that much to Alex charging in being part of the world race, they noticed that Galorum, who is a mysterious woman dressed in a black business suit, is pretty much manipulating Kurt to do her bidding to get the Wheel of Power for herself, so she could take over Hot Wheels City. However, the only way that, according to Enemy Mine, they noticed that Kurt is a spy working for Clip. For some reason, as a result of Kurt trying everything to pretty much stop to cheat, but instead of stopping to cheat, he would try and damage the tournament forever. He tried everything to do this, except that he accidentally endangered Mark Wilde to discover why he needs to be rescued. After that, Glory betrays Kurt, and so Kurt heads back to his friends to get a heel face turn. Despite this, things take a turn for the worst when Galorum is accidentally hit in the face by some sort of a collision-causing accident that her chopper crashed onto the ground. Little do they know is that Kurt becomes horrified in this M. Night Shyamalan-style plot twist, being revealed that she was actually a robot all along, after she was tragically disfigured from the accident of losing her right eyeball. It's revealed to be a robotic eye. It's kind of bizarre that it was just a two-faced moment, what you never imagined there before. Oh, thanks, Mom.
Hey.
Despite this, she then escapes, vowing to get revenge, and then, in Accelerators, this is where it all comes down to this. Since then, Vert is reunited with his old friends Lanny and Peter and Brian, as well as confronting new friends Torque Maddox, Diesel Porkchop Riggs, including Mitchell Monkey McClurg. Even though both Mark and Kurt are separated in their own teams, they're not the only ones to be alone. Since then, Nolan Pizarro, who had a traumatic experience about his brother Tone dying, probably blames, Torque for probably killing him within the process. Even though, despite this, with the help of their new friends, Shiraka Takamoto, including Karma Ace, and also, most notably, they probably get to understand why their new vehicles are upgraded to go into more multiversal dimensions. Since Tesla abandoned the cube, they noticed the Accelerotron can only be activated if they have enough Accelercharger keys. Despite this, the racing drums who have taken over Hot Wheels City have captured both Mark and Kadim. However, it tragically backfires after Kurt rescues Mark. Kadim pretty much dies by falling to his death. This time, after that, they noticed that the drones were working with Galore the whole time, as she plots to pretty much destroy the entire multiverse. However, Vert has to do this on his own so independently. But Vert learned he didn't need Acceler charges and used his own skills to do so. In what the Acceleron blames Galoran for cheating, she turns her back on Vert, revealing herself to be a gigantic droid monster. However, as Galoran grabs Vert on his neck, the Acceleron uses his telekinesis to throw Galoran away from her grasp. And then he tells Vert that he must find his father, Jack, before it's too late. After saving his friends, Vert sacrifices himself to disappear into the Science's HQ building, where he met his father, Jack, saying that they need to talk. All I can say is, it's kinda an extremely abrupt ending, in that there were only like a total of 9 episodes involved in it, and we never really got Accelerators 5. The reason why Accelerators 5 never got made is that it got cancelled for unknown reasons. For some reason, despite the perfectly stunning effects on CG animation and the pretty good acting, I probably noticed I should give this one just a solidly decent 8 out of 10. Because I noticed, we know that ever since Warner Bros. Wanted to hit the reset button, they said they were too busy being involved in Smallville. That's alright. But despite what I've learned in the lesson, they say that cheating is no fun at all. That's all I can say about this one, so bye-bye.